What's up, fight fans? Your boy P. Welsh here, bringing you UFC Fight Night from Mexico City, Mexico. Moreno versus Erceg. Starting off with Markel Morados and Austin Hubbard. Lightweight division bout. We got Hubbard 16-8. The UFC's website, of course, ain't working. And then we got Morados 9-1. Both men 5'10". A little bit of a reach advantage for inch and a half reach advantage for Hubbard. 3-2 in his last 5 when Morados is 5-0, second UFC fight. And again, one thing we'll say today with all these fights is at altitude. Anybody can probably guess out. This one's a really interesting matchup to start it off. We saw last week Kutsaladze, massive underdog, came through in the first fight, and I always think that's possible, especially at altitude here. Hubbard is a durable fighter who is not afraid to go toe-to-toe with anybody. He's been in the cage for a long time. I don't know if Morados has ever really handled a situation like this. Again, in Mexico City, you're almost 12th. He's more than Denver and stuff like that. He is the younger fighter. We'll see how that much is an advantage. But they both train in Colorado, very interestingly enough. So they're both at least acclimatized to that. So maybe it won't be as big as a factor. I want to pick Hubbard here, but I'm leaning. I'm gonna pick Morados. Medeiros. Pick Markel here just because I think he's a little bit more polished of a fighter. While Hubbard might be durable, is he as talented? That's to be seen. I think the damage over moments over minutes could, Hubbard will compete and make it tough. But I think I'm going to lead Medeiros in the initial fight here. Not a super high on the confidence pick. Like I'm a big Hubbard fan, but like I'm also not super impressed of him. Like I like just the professional guys that go in there and scrap. Maybe not be the flashiest, but they go in there and try like Hubbard does. He's pretty active. But I'm going to take Medeiros over here in the first bout, but it could go either way. I want to say I could see this going the distance, very much so, but maybe only if that happens is both guys kind of gas out equally, and it's a pretty big of a stalemate, right? When it's like both guys accumulate a good amount of damage, and come the last 3 minutes of the third round at altitude, there might just not be too many vicious attacks left, right? So I think that's one way we can get to the scorecards on some of these, but I'm not sure if some of the we'll see what happens there. Let's move along, ladies and gentlemen. We got a featherweight bout, Jamal Emmers versus Gabriel Medina. We got Emmers 20-8 versus Medina 17-7. Jamal Emmers stands for 5'10" versus 5'11", 3-inch reach advantage. 2-3 in his last 5, and 2-3 and 3-2 for Miranda. And this is a nice, interesting matchup here. Jamal Emmers, very consummate, better. Is Jamal Emmers a better fighter? I absolutely think so. But I think Gabriel Miranda has an opportunity to get Emmers in a position to finish the fight. Absolutely. The submission game, Emmers has been caught in his career. How much volatility you put that into today? How much has he improved over there? He's not necessarily lighting the world on fire, but I just think he's the better fighter, and I'm picking Emmers to win, even though if there was like any betting opportunities, I could definitely see a Miranda finish by submission. I don't know if he can control him for 3 rounds, especially as you gas out. I think Emmers, being, a tall fighter, is going to be able to get up over time. I think it's like he's going to have to catch Emmers gassing out, right? He's going to have to catch Emmers making a mistake, which can happen to anybody in the fight game. I think Miranda's got that high-level grappling submission that really puts anything, that's his win condition. It could be over in a minute, or it could be a long night for him, depending on who's fighting. And I think Emmers is going to be able to do the damage and control the distance, get up over time, and wear out Miranda to get the win. But again, either way, this is a sweaty matchup here, and I'm just going to pick Emmers just because I purely think he's the better overall fighter. But the win condition on Miranda is very strong. And boy, oh boy, this should be I love this. I love the clashing styles as much as like the mirror matchups do so good. Like these clashing styles, I love seeing them on there because you just never know what you're gonna get, man. It's like kind of who shows up that day. If any guy makes a mistake, where are they fighting? So very interesting. I love the whole fight game, how they do walking out, how is the weight cut, how is their training, are they carrying, how they're nagging injuries. So these are the fights that really kind of, really interest me in a fight fan, and why I love picking every fight on the card, because Jamal Emmers and Gabriel Miranda, most people might not know about, but it's such a stylistic matchup that's so intriguing that, I'd love to tune in and watch second fight. Let's go Jamal Emmers here. Bang! Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lightweight bout here. Rafa Garcia, 16-4 versus Vince Pichel, 14-4. Pichel, 3-inch height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage for Pichel here. I don't know, man. I had Rafa here. I just think the youth, the explosiveness, the win condition. He's got that submission win condition. I think he's gonna. Now, can I think Vince wins on the feet? Absolutely. Getting punked out by Grant Dawson, losing to Closa, he obviously has a liability on the feet, right? So as much as I want to just be automatically Rafa by submission because he's just gonna outclass Vince, it's like, okay, maybe, but also, like, look at the wins. Clay Guida, Mahachete, Nathan Levy, all guys that really suit his wins condition very good. I was 100% on Rafa here, and I think he'll still get the win, but I don't know if he gets a finish here. I think Vince is a really tough fighter. He wants to square up and throw hands, and he has lots of experience, dude. I mean, he's just, he gets finished every once in a while, does have submission loss on his record, but is that going to happen here today? It's really hard to be like, yeah, that's going to happen. I could definitely see Vince live for an upset, and I really want to pick him here. My thing is, it's the age, right? He's 42 versus somebody at altitude. I'm just going to pick Garcia. As somebody that's getting a little bit older myself, a few years, and I just think, I can't imagine what more of that compounds to over time. Granted, I'm not in any bit of shape right now, so I think Rafa Garcia gets the win here. I don't necessarily think it's the classiest performance of the evening, and I can definitely see this being a split decision because I think Vince is going to stand up on his feet over time and do some significant damage because I think Garcia's stand-up game is a liability and can be exposed. It might be one of those things that, like, it gets exposed early on, and then he'll take his shots, win the rounds, and control the fight. It could be something like that. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. We got the women's strawweight bout. We got our girl Lupita Godinez versus Julian Pilarstri. All right, Godinez 12-5, Pilarstri 13-4. 2 straight losses for Godinez. 3-2 in her last 5. Pilarstri 4-1. 4 years older for Godinez, a little bit of a reach advantage for Pilarstri, and I'm on the Loopy train here. She's got a rebound. I think it's a good spot for her. I think she's coming in to replace what's her name? Hugari, maybe. I think it was supposed to be Hugari. Yasmin Hugari, and Godinez comes in there after her Noche loss, I want to say. Hasn't been the best run of form for her. Mackenzie Dern fight night. So I think she was really active last year, but not exactly as effective, but she faced top-level competition. I mean, Yonderoba and Mackenzie Dern. Yonderoba should be getting a title fight. They literally are making her fight everybody. And Mackenzie Dern is a freaking certified professional. I expect Loopy to come in strong. I could be completely wrong. I'm not even joking because, like, this is just pretty much I'm going on just feelings at this point, and I can see Pilarstri standing up on the feet really well. She's been in the full camp. She's ready for it, and Godinez is definitely just a fan favorite over time. And I definitely can see Julia winning this one. I think it's how she's gonna. I think she'll win on the feet. Honestly, I really do. And it's just, is she going to be able to contend the grappling game? This is a really greasy fight. I definitely don't like Godinez at -238. I definitely don't really see this fight getting finished either. I think both these chicks are really tough. They are proven winners in the octagon, right? Like they go to the decision. They finish people that they're better than, and this is a really interesting matchup. The more and more, I mean, I think this fight just goes to decision, and I just don't want to pick against Godinez in Mexico on a decision, right? Like, that's just not what I'm going to pick against. But, like, I also, like, would think about betting Pilarstri, but then, again, say that, like, I never want to put so, like, maybe this fight to go to decision is definitely the number one outcome, I think. I think that's something that's super, plausible and really like, I think it's gonna be a tough fight, right? It's split decision. You really never know what the judges are gonna put on the scorecard realistically, and it's really hard to predict how, especially when these fights are gonna be close. It's like, man, like you gotta take a sip of the tea and just pick Loopy, and we're gonna move on, ladies and gentlemen. A featherweight bout. Ooh, this is where I think the card starts to get super juicy. We got Christian Rodriguez, 12-2, the Rojas Avenger, standing 5'7" against Malaquez Acosta, 22-7, 5'10". A little bit of a leg advantage, and no lie here, I got Costa. I don't understand how Rodriguez. If anything, this should be a straight pick 'em. Rodriguez is a consummate MMA professional. Don't get me wrong, but he's like one of those people. I think like when he fight, it's like, okay, there's great fighters in terms of talent, and then there's great fighters in terms of like heart, grit, and determination. I think you can see that in sometimes like certain championship fighters lose to other certain championship fighters when they fight like certain guys that are just on a different level, right? Like people say that about Mike Tyson, the times he fought like true people, Buster Douglas, Evander Holyfield, like he wasn't able to bully him, right? Some people are only able to bully certain people, and I think that's kind of Rodriguez, right? I'm saying that is because I think you can't bully Costa. I think in the octagon, what the guy has gone through, his mentality is just one of those that is just straight adversity overcoming, and he's absolutely the pick. He's gonna have to fight somebody really good in the featherweight division for me to not pick him. And while I am a fan of Rodriguez, I just I can see him not being as amped up. I don't know, sometimes it's tough to gauge the mentality. Like very kind of reminds me a little bit of like Alex Hernandez, just very good overall, very good striker, very good wrestler, but has some holes and liabilities and can make a mistake against somebody that has that edge, right? It's an edge that some of the people bring into the octagon that draws us in there. I think Costa has that edge, bro. I think he's fired up. I think his story, his what he's been through. I'm a fan favorite. I'm picking him here. I'm a little bit biased, but I also have massive respect for Rodriguez. But I think watching Rodriguez get caught by Julian Erosa, like sometimes like you make a mistake in there and you could get ended. And I think the height's gonna be a problem for Rodriguez, and the leg kicks. I think he's gonna not be able to get the takedown, right? I think Costa's gonna be able to control the distance. Where like if Rodriguez knows he's losing on the feet and needs to take it down and take a shot, I think Costa's gonna do enough damage before that and be able to defend well enough to win the fight. That's really why I'm picking it, because of I just think he's a clinical striker as well. So Costa here could be going to the decision. I see these guys being in pretty good shape. I don't see them really gassing out one another. This one, it's like one of those where I think they both get tired, but like again, it's like, do they have the finishing? This one only finishes by submission, in my opinion, but I definitely see it going to the card, and I like Costa here big time. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We got a middleweight bout here. Jose Daniel Medina, 11-4 versus Atibi Gutierrez, making his debut. 6'4", 81-inch reach, 44-inch leg advantage, and what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago? What was the big underdog? Musa lost to Vera. Is this going to happen again, ladies and gentlemen? We're just like, yeah, this guy might be super talented, have a lot of metrics, but is he going to make a mistake in the octagon and get caught by a guy that's a certified, he's a UFC professional, man. I mean, maybe not UFC professional. So I don't know. I don't really like this line. I mean, Gutierrez is the big favorite for a reason with those metrics. I don't necessarily, maybe they'll put somebody in there to just the Bolivian Medina. He's not necessarily a veteran either, as much as I get my editor to scratch out what I just said, but sometimes you have to correct yourself on the fly here. And man, I wanted to pick Medina. I just can't. I'm gonna go Gutierrez, however you pronounce it. 6-1 middleweight. This one's definitely not going the distance. Some of these that I do feel a little bit 50-50, I could see this one. I don't see these guys making it 15 minutes in Mexico City. That's for sure. One of these guys is finishing the other, right? Submission, knockout, whatever I like that in this fight. It's kind of a little bit harder to pick a side. Like I said, the metrics for Gutier, like if he has any talent with that advantage, he should be able to go on a little bit of a run, right? Like, okay, maybe he gets caught by another guy that's like Sam Patterson, right? Maybe Sam Patterson puts his lights out like he put Randy Brown's lights out. Maybe like in a mirror matchup, he's not as good, but in my opinion, in dominant positions, he should win, right? In terms of just like casual fighting fans, just understanding certain things. I'm just gonna go pick him. He just looks in better shape too. Maybe he gets tired faster, but like, let's just go Gutierrez. I don't know how long that fight lasts. Moving on to the feature prelim, Edgar Chairez flyweight bout against CJ Vergara, 11-6 with the 1-no contest, and CJ Vergara 12-6-1. Pretty even, a little bit of a reach height advantage for Chairez. And transparency, I put Vergara, Rojas, and Moreno in a little parlay. So I'm probably going to pick Chairez because I put Vergara on the little bit of a. I just thought it was really good value, especially early. I think it was like plus 260 I got him at, and he's dropped down a little bit. Dude, I mean, granted, so Chairez has just not been. It's I don't know, man. He lost to Van. Clearly lost to Van at Noche. Did not look that good, but Van's a monster. I think Vergara can put it on him. I'm like, that's why I bet it. I'm picking Chairez here for the official picks because I'm just gonna cover that and be happy. Because again, it might be one of those things that like I don't trust the judges here, right? The pick Chairez is because I don't trust the judges. I don't know if this one gets finished. These guys are live for finishes and being finished, but I don't know if it makes it there. This one's probably more 50-50 to me. Like, the flyweights I know have better gas tanks and won't gas out. I think they're both experienced enough and professional enough to make it to the end of the fight. It's like I don't know how to trust the judges in some of these picks. So, like, that's one thing. Like, I threw a little scratch on somebody I thought had good value in terms of, like, what could happen at the end of the fight versus what I'm picking on my videos as pure transparency because I'm picking Chairez here just because I think the judges are going to give him the win. I think he'll look good, too. I don't think he'll look bad and he'll just be straight robbed. I think it will be a very close fight. And, yeah, so that's the way I'm just going to cover myself both sides. And it's been going pretty well for me like that, so... sorry, just, heed that with caution as I say that, and that's why I say the things I say them, because it's 50-50. There's 6 outcomes in the fight, besides draw and DQ. So, you got both guys sub, both guys, both fighters decision, sub, and KO, plus a draw, plus a DQ is included in the takeout. There's only so many options, so it's just like, at some point, you can only see so many things, and even so much recently, too. It's like, yeah, you think these guys have, like, ground games in a way, but, dude, so many of these people just stand up. Like, you get exposed taking shots, and you lose a lot more energy, like, unsuccessful shots. You're better off just throwing haymakers and trying to touch the chin and gassing yourself out that way. I'm not saying these guys do that, but sometimes in some of the higher divisions, you think, oh, this guy's got some good grappling game. He'll probably, but the better the fighters get, the more they just throw hands. Because that's where the advantage really lies in. Because if you get them stunned on the feet, then your grapple game is highly effective versus being less effective and super energy expenditure. So, again, take that what I said. I'm picking Chairez, bet Vergara. Let's go to the main card, ladies and gentlemen. Viva la Mexico! Lazy boy Ronaldo Rodriguez, 18-2 against Kevin Borjas. They call him the chicken, right? Is he the chicken? Borjas, 5'5". A little bit of a reach advantage for Borjas here. I like Borjas. I'm still a fan. I think he crushed me in a couple of my fights. But yeah, this is Lazy Boy Rodriguez all day. I just think he's a good fighter, and Borjas can make some mistakes. I'm surprised it's as close as this, but I think they really expect Borjas to contend on the feet early and Lazy Boy gonna rally, win 2-3 or something like that. Maybe late round finish for Rodriguez. I can't believe it's even this close. I like Costa and I like Van, but what else has he really done to beat somebody in the UFC? Yeah, Lazy Boy, he's at least got some tread on the tires, Like he fought Noche, he's at least a couple fights. I don't know, man. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in Lazy Boy. I'm on the hype train. Don't get me wrong. Could I be absolutely wrong? Absolutely. But I believe in these guys. It's not like I'm fading Borjas. I'm a Borjas fan. But it's just in the matchup I don't like. I don't like it. Not with somebody that like needs a win. Confidence is big in fighting and ability, and I like Lazy Boy. I just think I think he looks good in the octagon when he's fighting. I just think he's the pick. I would never bet Borjas here against Lazy Boy either. But I think Ronaldo is a parlay piece. I think Rodriguez gets the win. I think he could get a finish too. I don't think one that this is like maybe it could gas out. Like he's definitely live for a finish. He has, you know, 12 win finishes. Maybe not against the highest competition, but it could get tired late. Damage body shots. Anything can really go here. I like Rodriguez. Probably one of the more confident picks of the end. Moving on to the bantamweight division, we got David Martinez against Simon Oliveira. Coming off the Contender Series, Martinez just finishes everybody. That's kind of the game plan on him versus Oliveira. Been around 33 years, big, strong submission game. It's one of those things, again, that we mentioned in that Miranda fight. Is he going to be able to? He's not super experienced, right? Like, lost to Marcos. Marcos is a beast, bro. Daniel Marcos is not one that you want to get messing around with, right? But is Martinez like Marcos? Kind of. Like, that kind of worries me. And if you don't really have any stand-up game and really rely on your submissions to get the job done in the UFC, you can be exposed really fast, right? I think one thing that what the UFC brings out of fighters is athletes, right, that get the edge in striking and can defend well. Maybe not flawlessly defend wrestling, but defend well. And I think Martinez is one of those guys. I think he's going to possibly expose Oliveira and get the win. I'm picking Martinez here. He's a big favorite on the card. It's just one of those things. I just don't think Oliveira can touch him on the feet. That being said, I just think Martinez is going to look good and catch him on the chin, maybe end this pretty quick. I could be completely wrong. Not a super high confidence pick on Martinez, but I think that's kind of the consensus. What I kind of see going around. Again, I don't really do any research or anything like that beforehand, but like when you look at a debutant making some stuff like that, I remember that Oliveira fight against Marcos. I pick Marcos, bro. Like the guys, the South Americans with the red flags, like Borjas, Marcos, like I know. I mean, I feel like I remember all these fights, and I do remember that fight where Marcos, he is also so tough. He is also so tough. But you see that on Muay Thai on my guy Oliveira's legs. We'll see how he handles the kicks, right? Like checking kicks, calf kicks. If he's not able to, if he every time he throws a punch, he gets hit in the legs, then, that could be a game changer. You never really know how the fight games are going to change out. He could also gas himself out trying to hurt him and get caught 1-2, hit him in the body shot. Move along, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to pick David Martinez and hope for the best. Boom! But I definitely can see this fight not going the distance, right? Especially if you make a mistake as a striker, if you can't handle the Muay Thai and get your legs kicked and you're compromised in the octagon, you can get finished, especially at altitude. So maybe one that doesn't go the distance as much. Bang! Move on, ladies and gentlemen. It's the boy Chihuahua Raul Rojas Jr. 10-1 versus Vince Morales 16-9. 2-inch height advantage, 3-inch reach advantage for Morales, 4-inch on the legs for Rojas. I'm not picking against the Rojas train. I bet him in the parlay. I just think he's a beast. I don't know much about Vince. And keep trying to remember his fights. Elijah Smith, Taylor Lapulus. Yeah, nothing to impress me, right? I'm pretty sure I picked Lapulus. Other than that, 3-7, older stint in the UFC, losses to Miles John Martinez, Chris Gutierrez, Yang Sedong, and no substantial wins on his resume, right? How can you pick him to win against Raul? So, I did one with Vergara, Rojas, and Moreno, and then I did another parlay. I'll get that starting with Rojas here again. Just straight money line, 3 picks. I mean, signed, sealed, delivered. I think he gets a finish. If he gets lose this year, this would be amazing. It would be an insane fight to watch, but I just can't see it happening. I don't even really want to talk about it too much more. Like submission losses, submission wins. However, I think Rojas wants to do it. I think I don't necessarily think he can touch him on the feet like that, right? I think Morales will have the edge on the feet, but as soon as he starts to expose, I think Raul is I think a different beast, man. A different beast. So let's see it continue. Joe Wee Wee. Let's go, baby. Middleweight bout here. My boy Kevin G Money Gaslam versus Joe Pyfer. What's Gaslam gonna weigh in at 205? I don't know, man. This is definitely seeming like a catch weight. Versus Pyfer. Man, I want to pick Gaslam here. I really do. I want to make a case for him, having the experience, having the toughness, the matchups, but I could also see him coming in here caring less, and I'm not going to pick Gaslam. I would maybe just throw one, maybe take a sprinkler or a flyer on him if you really believe. Because, I think the potential for Pyfer to get fraud checked is there again against somebody like this. You're going to say Kevin Gaslam, 19-9, a bunch of bums. Dude, look at Gaslam's resume, right? Pyfer hasn't sniffed a jock strap of who he's fought, Brady, Cannonier, Whitaker, Hermanson, Adesanya, Tillings, Weidman, Magny, Woodley. Jesus, look at his competition. So, it's why I want to get behind Gaslam in some capacity, because I truly think his capacity to punch Joe Pyfer one time and knock him out is there. I think it's absolutely there. But do I want to pick that? No. Do I want to bet that? Not really. I think this is a Pyfer spot. He was winning against Hermanson, and he kind of gassed out, and Jack's a tough competition, right? I don't know what he's done much recently. He hasn't fought since that Pyfer fight, which is just kind of a disgrace. Nobody really wants to fight. It's I don't know, man. I don't know. Do they not want to re-sign him to new contracts, so they just let him sit there and, it was a 5-round main event. What are you doing? You don't even give my guy a chance at anybody after that? Kopolov, I don't know, man. Pereira, Michel, somebody. He's got some fights, man. What are we doing? There's some killers out there who haven't fought in a minute. It's tough. I got Pyfer. Pyfer's the pick. Official channel pick is Pyfer. I'm just gonna believe in the talent and the uprising, but this could absolutely be one of the gatekeeper situations. But again, it's one of those things. Do you really want to pick Gaslam? I mean, it could be one of his last hurrahs. 33 years old. Pyfer's 28. Wins against Barry out. He looked good, but the loss against Hermanson. But I'm a Pyfer guy, dude. I think the reach, the height. I think Pyfer is going to catch him overhand right, put my guy Gaslam's nights out. I think he can hit him with some kind of kicks too. Open up the body, hit him over. I think he's got the one-hit KO for Pyfer is there all day. And I can see this one definitely not going the distance. That's probably one of my favorite picks for this fight. Because it's tough to pick somebody like Pyfer by KO when he's definitely got some ground and pound situation there. But I can also see my guy Gaslam giving me a span and just not covering his face when he gets knocked down and it being over. So, club and sub, ground and pound, easy Joe Pyfer money line here. Let's go, baby. One of the favorite fights, another one that's not going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. Manuel Torres versus Drew Dober. Torres 15-3, coming off the loss to Bahamondes at Noche. Dober 27-14, coming off the loss. Who did Dober lose to? I thought he was on a run there. Lost to Gene Silva, Moicano, beat Ricky Glenn, lost to Frivola. Yeah, I don't know how you can be on Dober here. Guy's got a glass chin at this point in his life. I like Torres here. Massive reach advantage. I think Dober's not going to be able... If Dober can take him down, it's a game changer. I could be completely overestimating that aspect. I don't know how much he's going to come in here and want to wrestle Manuel Torres. I don't know what the height... And I don't know his... I like Torres here. I put Torres as the second leg of the parlay with Moreno. Then my second one is Torres, Raul, and Moreno. And then I did one with Vergara. I like Torres here. I like the KO potential. I like him. I think the proper pick is the fight not to go the distance, right? I think that's the easy money. I do trust Dober's durability a little bit, but man, I think he can also put the lights out, take a lot of damage. This fight screams violence, and it's a pick'em, and I think it's a pick'em because Dober's a fan favorite. Torres also, the recency bias of getting KO'd from Baja Mondays is, dude, I think Baja Mondays is gonna fight for the title one day, so I don't think there's a bad loss. That's as bad as the loss as it's gonna come out 2-3 years from now. And I think Torres has really got some dynamite in those hands, and he can, with the distance on the outside, really touch up Dober. Which, I mean, he gets cut. He's been damaged. This is, to me, Torres. I bet on Torres. I'm picking Torres. I'm not picking Dober here. I feel that strongly about it. I could be completely wrong. If Dober comes in there and wants to wrestle him up, it could be easy pickings for him. So I'm confident, but don't be confident in my confidence, because this is kind of This is more of like, how is Dober even money against a guy that throws haymakers? I don't think it's a good matchup for him. I don't think I don't think his form's been good, and I'm just really worried, dude. And I could, they're going to stand in there and bang. That's why I'm scared. The guys that Dober struggle against are just the flame-throwing bigger guys. Frivola, Moicano. Silva's not big, but, just it's just, he gets finished. And Torres is the guy that finishes guys. Like, this fight's not going the distance. I don't know how it ends, but Torres don't even make it out of the first round, bro. This guy don't even make it out of the first round. Come on, Torres. I just got to believe. I'm going to believe he catches him, gets one back, gets a redemption. Mexico, viva la Mexico, baby. Loco. And then the flyweight main event, baby, faced Assassin Moreno on the comeback train against Steve Erceg. I like Erceg. I think Erceg has to put his lights out. I think Moreno is... I'm Moreno. I'm on Moreno all day. Bet him twice. I think this is... I don't want to be starstruck. I don't want to believe in... Okay, first off, I think the levels in the flyweight division are absolutely real. And Erceg's a good high level. I don't think he's a Moreno level. I think Erceg Martinez would be way spicier of a matchup. I think Moreno outclasses him, bro. This guy Moreno beat Figueiredo. He lost to Pantoja, which is, bro, just got 7 freaking... He's about to have a whole octagon of rubies, you know what I mean, in title defenses. And then he lost to Royval in a 5-round banger. The dude's been in wars after wars after wars at elevation against everybody. I think if he has the edge, if Moreno has the edge, it's his night. Can Erceg win? Absolutely. He has the dynamite in the hands. He's got kind of the ability to scrap. But dude, I think Moreno's not a big enough favorite personally. I think there's the recency bias in Erceg against Pantoja still. He got KO'd by freaking Kai Kara France, man. Moreno destroyed KKF. Remember that. You know what I mean? If Moreno comes out with the fire, it's a Moreno victory, and I think he can pick his way that he does it. Moreno is that good at flyweight. I think the levels exist like this. It's Pantoja, right? And then it's Moreno and Cop. After that, you can start throwing in some other guys, Kai Kara, Royval, Tyra, Amabai, these next guys. I think the top of the flyweight, bro, just watch. I think those top 3 guys in the flyweight are absolutely dynamite. I think they're head and shoulders levels above everybody. Kai Kara France has a chance to put his name there. He's the next one that can ascend. Erceg has a chance to ascend. He has an opportunity. I don't think he gets it done. I don't know how anybody else. I would love to hear you pick Erceg. Explain why you would like to see, why you believe he's gonna win here. I'm a big Erceg fan, but my man came in there, just knocked out Matt Schnell and got a title fight. Looked great in the title fight, but dude's not done much after that. I don't know, man. This is Moreno. This is Brandon freaking Moreno, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just on. You just have to pick him. There's no way you can pick against Moreno, dude. 22-8-2. He's fought absolute gangsters. Destroyed Amir Albazi, bro. I was on Albazi. I was confident in Albazi. Just watch that. Watch that, and if you can tell me you can pick Erceg, then you can have my channel. You know what I mean? And if Erceg wins, But that being said, it's Moreno, bro. I think I like my picks. Hopefully the bets can come through, cash another week in a row. The winning record hasn't been on point. It's been some greasy fights there. 7-6, 7-6. I'm hoping we can put another good winning streak in here, another big win. The betting has been good, kind of picking our highest confidence picks and then some of the other ones. We're going to do a recap here. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting. We're going to go Morodos in the first fight against Hubbard. Jamal Emmers, Rafa Garcias, Lupi Godinez. We got Costa, Gutierrez, and Charez. Ronaldo, Lazy Boy, David Martinez, Raul Rojas, Joe Pfeiffer, Manuel Torres, Brandon Babyface Assassin Moreno. Like, comment, subscribe if you made it this far. Leave your picks in the comments. Pick every fight, right? I'm going to send you $100 if you pick all the comments, right? Fights in the comment. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Have a great day. Peace and love.